Welcome, yogi, to these 45 minutes of mindful self-care yoga. Today, we're going to continue doing that fusion Hatha Vinyasa style of classes just to activate a little bit more other type of muscles in the bodies and give our wrist a break from all those chaturangas. We're going to just simply connect deeply with the breath, similar to last week. The intention is to move the body, but also stay present with that breath. If I were to give you a pointer at the beginning of this class is to imagine a circle. And when you inhale, half of that circle is feel. And when you exhale, half of that circle is feel, making the big circle. With that type of breathing, what we're trying to do is eliminate the rough edges are going up and down and sharp edges. And we're making the breath a little bit more soothing, more relaxing, more calming. And that way, no matter what's going on in our physical practice, we can maintain that harmonious, soft, and relaxing breath. So we're going to start standing today. We're going to start standing. So take your time there to kind of feel the weight of your body on your feet. Tadasana, mountain pose, hands by your side. And even though it feels like we might not be doing a lot, right? Remember that there is a few pointers here. We want to make sure the pelvis is neutral. We want to make sure the abdomen is slightly engaged. We want to make sure that the crown of the head is pulling you nice and tall. So you feel a gentle stretch on the lower abdomen or the middle abdomen. We're also engaging our legs. So your quadriceps are engaged, activating. Your toes are spread out and the body weight feels equally between the toes and the heel. The shoulders are down and relaxed and the skull is reaching back so the chin feels parallel to the floor, hands by your side, relaxing. And just take a moment here to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose, expanding your lungs. And full long exhale, contracting those lungs as you let the air all the way out. Let's go back into that circle breath, nice and slow. Inhale, half of the circle. As you exhale, the other half of the circle. And we continue with that nice and slow breath. Letting your physical body to feel more settled, more grounded through the feet, your legs. Now bring your palms together in the center of your heart and rest your thumbs into your sternum. Give yourself a moment for a gentle bow. And this is the part of the practice where we are going to set an intention. An intention is so important for every action we take. Today, the intention is to find peace and to let go of resistance. Letting go of expectation, letting go of our ways, and just trusting that we are being guided by that life force that's bigger than us. And by doing that, we are bringing a sense of peace to let go of control. So if that resonated with you, you can use that intention for the rest of the practice. Otherwise, set your own intention. What is it that you need? What is it that you want to improve or attract or get more of in your life? And then slowly release when you're done. Take an inhale, reach the arms overhead, touch your palms, interlace the fingers, and keep your index pointing straight up to the sky. We're gonna grow sideways here. So as you ground yourself through the legs, a little side bend to the right, just give yourself a moment to go gentle here. Minimize the arch of the lower back. Come back to center, inhale. As you exhale, opposite side. And just feeling that side stretch. Feel the strength of the legs grounding you. And slowly come back to center, release the hands by your side. Repetition, inhale, arms up, fingers interlace, index pointing straight up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels more nourishing. Come back to center. Release the hands nice and slow. Inhale, arms up. Fingers interlace, index growing taller through the sideways of your rib. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Maintain the abdomen engaged. Exhale, left. Come back to center. Exhale, release the hands by your side. Roll the shoulders back. Circle the shoulders. Circle the shoulders in opposite direction. Good. Bring your right hand next to the left ear and drop the head to the right. Extend that left arm out to the side. Make sure your body is steady. Relax. Just breathing into the left side of the neck, relaxing the left shoulder. One more breath. And then release the head to center, switching your arms. Left palm near the right ear to drop the head gently to the left. Right arm out to the side, right shoulder. And let go of resistance, trusting, softening. One more breath. Good, and then slowly release, head back to center. One more round here. We're gonna interlace our fingers and we're gonna bring the fingers behind the skull. So you're pressing the hands in the back of your skull. And then what we're gonna do here, we're gonna draw the elbows forward and we're gonna press the chest back and bring the shin to the chest. Stretching the upper back, the upper neck. Give yourself a moment here. Relax the shoulders down, chest sink back. Squeezing the elbows forward. And then slowly bring the shin parallel to the floor. Press the skull into the hands, draw the elbows back. Squeeze the shoulder blades and open the chest. Slowly exhale, closing, dropping the head, rounding and pushing the upper back. And inhale, opening, squeezing elbows away from each other. Exhale, forward, squeezing in. And 2 more rounds like that, moving the head gently, pressing the head into the hands here. Exhale, gently, you're gonna drop the head and keep the head pressing into the hands in here. Last one, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good, come back to center, release. Release the hands behind you. We're gonna grab opposite elbows and we're gonna drop the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades. We're gonna bend the knees slightly and we're gonna let ourselves forward fold here. Deep shoulder stretch. You also have the option to interlace the fingers and press the knuckles away from the body, keeping the base of the wrist together. Soften where you can. You can shake the head, yes or no. And we're gonna do 2 more rounds like that. Exhale, release. Come all the way up, nice and slow. Release the hands. 2 rounds. Repetition is a good way to awaken the body in the morning. Exhale, hands back, opposite elbows, or interlacing the fingers. You're bending the knees and you're gently bow forward to rest the chest on your thigh, or at least bring them a little closer. You can keep the feet as wide as the hips. Just let the body slowly open up for you. Don't force it. And then release slowly the hands, come all the way up, standing once again. Hands behind you, open the heart, exhale, let go, bow forward. One more inhale. And then exhale, release the hands into the floor, keeping bending the knees. And transition into your first downward facing dog. So take your time in there. to step back with your feet, step forward with your hands. And once you find your downward facing dog, give yourself permission to adjust, to maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Bend the one knee at a time as you walk the dog here, stretching your toes. Good. Nice and slow. Come into your first plank as you inhale. And feel free to drop one knee if that feels better. Maintaining the upper back strong, the core strong, the back leg strong. And then we're gonna press back into our downward facing dog. Inhale dog, exhale plank again. Maybe drop the opposite knee here. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, walk the hands to the back of your mat. Open the feet as wide as the mat. Deep squat, Malasana. Adjust the feet in a way that feels right for your body. And use any props that you need under your heels if that's the case. Palms together in the center of the heart, growing the spine nice and tall. Squeezing the knees in, but pushing them away with your elbows. Circle breath in case you got forgotten. Good, and then from Malasana, we're gonna come into Navasana. So find you're seated on the ground. Feel free to move into the center of the mat. We're gonna squeeze the inner thighs, the inner ankle joints, and we're gonna press the chest forward, sitting in the seat bones, and we're gonna hover those legs without collapsing on the lower back. So continue breathing mindfully, maintaining that circle breath, relax where you can. One more breath. And then release, come back into tabletop. Hands and knees. Very good. It's a feel good practice today. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round and push. Continue breathing and moving slowly with the breath. Feel the stretch of the spine. Two more rounds. And slowly we're gonna thread the needle here, right? So if you wanna rest your head on a block, you can. It's gonna make it a little bit more accessible. Tuck the toes under, right hand opens out to the side, rotate the chest to the right. As you exhale, bring that hand under that left, drop the right shoulder, keep the hips above the knee, gaze to the left. Left hand can reach the top of the mat. And then lean into the right side for a moment. Close your eyes, circle breath. Keep your feet strong. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly walk the left hand back, press. Open the chest to the right again. And then release, opposite side. Inhale, left arm opens, chest rotates to the left. Exhale, thread the needle, left hand under the right, left shoulder drop, gaze to the right, right arm forward, leaning into that left side. Slowly bring the hand back and push, come all the way to center. Back into our downward facing dog. Take your time here. And just feeling the stretch and the flexibility of the lower body. And just feeling the strength and engagement of the upper body. Keep pressing your pelvis as high up as you can. Just give yourself a couple more breaths here. Connect to that intention of the practice, letting go, releasing resistance, and find your inner peace. We're gonna come into our first low lunge. So bring your right foot in between the hands. Drop the left knee on the floor. And take a moment here with your hands on the ground, untap the back toes. Just give yourself permission to feel that stretch in the left hip. A little twist to the right, a very gentle one. Hand can rest on the right thigh. Undo the twist, press your pelvis back, extending front leg. Keep the pelvis in the center, right, and flexing that front foot. So your pelvis is pressing back as your chest is pressing forward, so that's a good balance. Keep that left foot engaged. One more inhale. Now as you exhale, rebend the front knee and come into a half malasana or skandasana, so you have to adjust that left leg. That's it. Take your time here to make your body into this. If this heel is lifted off the ground like so, that's okay. If you're a little higher, that's okay. Just give your body a moment here to adjust. Deep stretch of the right hip and deep stretch of the left inner thigh. Keep the core strong to help you elevate the spine. Palms can come together in the center of the heart. One more breath. Good, and now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you gotta kind of walk yourself into the other side of your body and find your low lunge. Ha! This is what I like about this type of practice is we get a little bit more creative and we are all doing bodily movement functions that the body is designed to do. So find your low lunge, feel the stretch in the front of the right hip, keep the core strong, upper body strength, a gentle twist to the left. Soften the shoulders, soften where you can. And then adjust the body for Skandasana or half Malasana, kicking the right leg out to the side. You can keep the toes pointing forward for a deep stretch of the ankle joints or flexing and pointing the toes straight up. For me, doing the toes up feels more like a stretch on the left, on the inner thigh. And adjust here, right, to make sure that you feel supported, that you feel strong. One more breath. Good, and now release the hands if they were on prayer position. We're gonna lift the hips and we're gonna come into standing wide-legged forward fold. So adjust the standing of your legs, your feet, and we're gonna come into our standing forward fold here. So take a moment to let the pelvis tilt slightly forward. Press through the outer edges of your feet. Bring the inner thighs pulling you up so the pelvis is up as the crown of the head drops down. And use your hands here as a traction to help you drop the head a little bit more. Bring your hands into the hips, squeeze the elbows and shoulder blades in, and slowly bring the chest all the way up. We're gonna do that again, and we're gonna do all the variations of Utthita Prasarita, right? Prasarita Padottanasana, that's how it's called, that wide-legged standing forward fold. So hands into the hips, bring the shoulder blades back, so it's almost like you're doing an open of the back bend. right? Very classic Ashtanga Vinyasa pose. And as you lean your chest forward, you're tilting the pelvis halfway forward as well. And you continue squeezing, and dropping the head down, at least pointing towards the floor. And then you release the hand in between your arch of the feet and press even more. Good, one more breath in here. Let's try that again. Hands into the hips, squeezing the elbows, lifting with the strength of the legs and the core, nice and slow. For this other round, we're gonna interlace the fingers behind us. Once again, opening the chest, pointing the knuckles away from the body. Nice and slow, engaging the inner thighs, pressing through the feet, down to the earth. We're gonna come into this variation. Relax the head, really pressing. Shoulders in together, shoulder blades I meant. One more inhale. Pull the knuckles up and lift yourself nice and slow. Very good. Now walk to the top of your mat. Let's start from the beginning. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take an inhale, arms overhead. Interlace the fingers, index pointing straight up. Neutralize the pelvis, side to the right. Inhale, center. Excuse me. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend the knees. Drop the head here, forward fold. Press back into your downward facing dog. Take your time here. Inhale, come into your first plank. Back to downward facing dog. Walk the hands to the back of your mat, nice and slow. Let's go into Malasana once again. Deep squat. Settle here. I'm gonna face you on that deep squat. And just take a moment here to really drop the sacrum and lengthen through the crown of the head. Make sure all your toes are pressing into the floor. Now the traditional way to do Malasana is with your feet together, right? But we learned that we make the pose adaptable to our body. So don't stress out or don't worry about aesthetics so much. We're gonna worry more about nourishing and respecting our body boundaries physically, physiologically, and bone structure. Good, and now we're just going to simply from here go into that low lunge. So nice and slow, come back into right foot forward, left foot back. Just give yourself a moment here. Starting perhaps to feel more comfortable. If you're feeling stable and relaxed, maybe you reach the arms overhead. And just give yourself permission to soften where you can, but keep those legs and the foot strongly engaged, grounding you, so you can grow taller through the spine. Beautiful. Release that left hand on the ground, twisting to the right. Softening the shoulders. Release the twist. Half split. Pelvis back, chest forward. Come into half Malasana, or officially named Skandasana. Stretching the left inner thigh, nice and slow, breathing in through the nose. Release. Going into low lunge on the other side. Right knee drops, left knee bends. Very nice. Take your time here, settling your alignment. so you can feel strong and stable. You can walk the hands into the thighs or reaching the arms up. Just take a moment. And slowly release the hands down and half split again. Pelvis back, chest forward, flexing that left foot. Shoulders relax, breath in circle or circle breath. Bend that left knee and come into your Skandasana. Take your time to settle the body. Then release the hands, Prasarita Padottanasana, standing wide-legged forward fold. Just give yourself a moment there to explore and feel. Your feet, try to keep them too together or too far out. And I'm going to show you how to triple check that alignment in a moment. Hands in the hips, nice and slow. Squeezing the elbows in and shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, nice and slow. So how do you know if your legs are too wide or too together? You're going to open the arms out to the side and your feet should be right on the upper arm, somewhere in between the upper arm. So here, my feet will be under my elbows. And for me, this is too wide, okay? More than this is going to be way too much. So you can close your standing. Now here, it's okay, but you're not actually engaging much of the pelvis. It's too close to the shoulders, right? So you want to open a little bit, somewhere between the shoulder and the elbow length of, if you look down at your feet. When you're ready, nice and slow, interlace your hands behind you and we're gonna forward fold. Soften where you can, breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And then slowly release the hands into the hips, come all the way up. Good, walk into the top of the mat, Tadasana again. Inhale, arms up. Press the index up, side and to the right. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. Inhale, center, release the hands, bend the knees, forward fold. Press your legs back into downward facing dog, one foot at a time, growing. 2 rounds of breath in downward facing dog. And just building that strength. Thigh bones back, pushing the floor away with your hands. And just drop the knees here for a moment. Find your tabletop. And tabletop, we're coming into cat-cow. Nice and slow, 3 rounds on your own. Very nice. And then slowly you're here, move your feet out to the side and come into your seated position facing the wider side of your mat. If you want to sit a little taller, grab a blanket here. And as you're coming here into wide-legged seated, or I forgot the name of this one. Upavishta Konasana, I think it is. All right. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna gently lean our chest forward. And take your time here to be kind. That's a deep stretch of the inner thigh. Feel free to kind of bend those knees if that feels too much. You can rest yourself here on the forearms, maybe on your elbows. And you can just swing your chest side to side to just give you a moment here to soften any tension around the hip sockets. Good. And then from here, as you swing side to side, see if you can kind of start walking the hands to the right. And then you're gonna forward fold over to the right leg. A deep stretch of your quads, hamstring. Not your quads, my bad. Your quads are strengthening, stretch of the hamstring and stretch of the QL, the muscle on the lower spine. And you are also engaging your abdominals and your obliques. Maintain those feet flexed and strong. One more inhale. And slowly walk the hands to center. And we're gonna walk them all the way to the left. Just give yourself there a moment just to feel, to work with the body, and just soften where you can. Come back to center slowly. Bend the right knee so you're bringing that right foot inside the left inner thigh. And if you need anything underneath a blanket to give you support, go ahead. It's important that you find the seat bones in here. Bring your left hand to grab your right knee. A gentle twist here. Right hand can be behind you, just to give you a moment here to find the length. And so I'm going to show you how it looks on this side. All right. Softening where I can. And you can also side bend to the left as you maintain grabbing that right knee. You can close the chest, you can open the chest, whatever works for you. You don't have to side bend if you don't want to. And then we're gonna come all the way up, undo the twist. We're gonna switch side. Extend the right, bend the left. Right hand into that left knee and twist into the left. If you want to side bend, maintain that twist, but you're going to lean towards that extended leg. Left hand reaches above the head. Maybe you grab the toes. Maybe you just rest it on the head like so. Just give yourself there the playfulness to explore what the body wants. You can close the chest or you can open the chest for a more lateral side bend. One more inhale. Beautiful. As you exhale, come all the way up. Close your legs. Bring the knees together. Let's do a Navasana here. Once again, chest towards the thigh. Squeeze in where you can. Inner thighs, inner knees, inner ankles. Pulling yourself forward. Avoiding collapsing on the lower back. One more breath. And then exhale, release. Let's come all the way into our backs. We're gonna do a series of bridge pose, and maybe if it's in your practice, we're gonna do a full wheel. So hold the knees to the chest for a moment and gently rock side to side, softening where you can. Keep that breath nice and slow. Come into the supine pigeon, right ankle crosses until the left thigh. Two more breath here. Keeping the mind with the breath. And kicking both legs straight up to the sky, shake them out. And then we're gonna do crossing of that pigeon on the left side. Give yourself a moment there to relax the shoulders. You can move your ankle joints in circle, which is what I'm doing, and all my ankle joints are popping. Feels nice. One more breath. Then exhale, release the feet on the floor, keep the knees bent. Toes and knees as wide as the hips facing the top of the front of the mat, all right? We're gonna lift the chest slightly to squeeze the shoulder blades in, and that's going to create a gentle arch of the lower back, which is what we want. We want support on the shoulders. We're gonna bring our hands forward. We're gonna lift the hips and find your variation of bridge pose. So keep the gaze towards the belly, keep that nice long breath. Breathing in here. Breathing out. One more breath. Next is relax. And then bring the pelvis nice and slow back down. Stay neutral here for a moment. We're gonna do 2 more rounds, 1 more bridge, and on the last one, we might be able to do a wheel if that's something that you wanna try. Position your body, settle the body, and when you're ready, as you inhale, lift, find the wheel, the bridge pose, my bad. Deep stretch in the front of the pelvis, strengthening the back body. 1 more breath. And then exhale, slowly release all the way back down. Just take a moment there. Final round, bridge pose again, or if you're having the practice of the wheel, go ahead and position your body to go for it. There is a series for back bend where we go into details how to wheel. So you're welcome to review that series. For this practice, I'm going to assume you know what you're doing, so go ahead and position yourself. I'm gonna stay here for 3 breaths. Soften again where you can. Gently find your way all the way to the floor. Nice and slow. That's it. Keep the feet on the ground. Allow the spine to be neutral here. Rest the knees against each other. A gentle supine twist, both knees to the chest and drop them to the right. Open that left arm. We're gonna stay here for just 2 breaths. Ground yourself through the left shoulder. Strong core, come all the way to center, switching side, right arm on the ground, both knees to the left. Now for the end of the practice, 2 options here. Bring the knees back to center. Option 1, like usual, we're gonna go into Shavasana. Option 2, seated meditation. If you're doing seated meditation, roll back and forth a couple times and allow yourself to find your seated. Just take a moment here, whether Shavasana or seated meditation, to reconnect to that cycle breath, that circle breath. Make sure your entire physical body, all your muscles, are feeling the invitation to go into a deeper state of relaxation. Shoulders relax, face is relaxed. Chest and abdomen soften. Pelvis relaxed, legs are relaxed. Gently observe the cycle of the breath on its own and how it feels to breathe in the body. Stay with it and come back to it as many times as you need to whenever you find distraction, taking your attention away from the breath. All we're doing is resting in stillness, observing our breath, doing what it does all day for us. Grounding through every breath in and softening with every breath out. We got 4 minutes of full silence here, so just enjoy it and just make this part of the practice to become more and more comfortable, more familiar, more relaxing. Stay with the breath. Notice how the breath becomes so relaxed that you can probably barely notice the breath. You become so present that you enjoy this moment of inner stillness, inner peace, that there is zero to minimum resistance. It's truly enjoying what it feels like to be alive and feeling your own existence. Maintaining that connection to that breath, like an anchor, like a reminder of the here and now, of the opportunity to welcome relaxation as the opportunity to let go of resistance. Wherever you are, whether it's Shavasana or meditation, for this practice today, we're going to end differently. I'm going to let you stay in here for as long as you need to. If, however, all you need and have is 45 minutes, we are at the end of the mark. So for those of you in Shavasana, if you need to keep going, bring your hands into your chest. Stay on your back. For those of you in meditation, staying hands on your chest. Just take a moment here to feel that sense of gratitude for creating space for yourself, for stepping on your mat to reconnect to your body, your breath and mind, but also to dive deeper into that spiritual connection with kindness and love and appreciation. Infinite gratitude to you for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. For those of you who have more than 45 minutes, continue enjoying the practice. Stay there for as long as you want to. And I hope to see you all very soon on the next class. May you be all in peace.